You are now in the deep end of horror.
And I will see the life run out of you.
Ooh, well, it's the last of the 80s, which is horror's best decade. This is Marc of Horror with Hugsy, and we're going to bring you the top 10 trailers from 1989. Number 10, we bring you a rather dead calm, with Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, and everyone's favorite Zaniac, Billy Zane, at his quasiest. Or at his most obsessive, anyway. And it's half the length of Titanic. Watch Dead Calm.
Alone on a sea of endless calm. It was easy to imagine they were the only two people on Earth. But into their perfect world, there came a stranger.
Stand up!
Trying to take her across the Pacific on your own?
No, there were 6 of us. Yeah, this died 10 days ago.
I'm going on board her.
Can't do that.
He's fast asleep. He won't even know. God, you're pretty.
What about those people, huh? There wasn't any food poisoning, was there? No way!
You think I'm making this up?
No, I don't.
You sound so much like them, Ray! It's scary!
Dead Calm. A voyage into fear. From the makers of The Road Warrior and Mad Max.
Coming in at number 9, a personal favorite of mine, and one that I really want a Blu-ray upgrade of. But all I have is the full screen DVD. Is Deep Star 6. I would say the cheap knockoff of Leviathan, but Hollywood always has these ideas which devolve into a whole bunch of different competing movies. And Deep Star 6 was one of them. This stars Torian Black, Nancy Everhard, Greg Evigan, but the real star of the movie is Miguel Ferrer as the hapless Snyder. Put him in charge of anything. His character arc is just the best thing about this movie, and it's just an unreal character arc. I just adore it. He's not responsible for anything. Deep Star 6.
Below the surface of the sea. Far, far below. In impenetrable darkness. At unimaginable pressure. No form of life we know could possibly exist. Here, there is only silence. And the crew of Deep Star 6.
6 months at the bottom of the ocean. It's more than I bargained for.
They are explorers.
Let's bring it aboard and get the hell out of here.
What's the matter? You gonna let a few ugly fish scare you?
They are invaders.
Okay, boys and girls, don't try this at home.
In a world which no human being has ever entered.
Sonar contact.
Down here? I'd like to go out and take a look.
Contact closing. 300 meters.
The hell is that?
250.
Look at that mother.
200 meters. 150 meters.
I think we're in big trouble, boss.
100 meters. Get the hell out of here.
Now, they are about to make a startling discovery. Not all aliens come from space.
Get out of here! Save yourself!
It's coming up!
Deep Star 6.
We're gonna have to go back down there.
That thing killed half our crew!
Damn it, there's something in the...
save your last breath, to scream. From the creator of Friday the 13th, Deep Star 6.
Is anybody out there? Can anybody hear us? Mayday, mayday.
Coming in at number 8, we have... Oh no, we've broken the limit configuration. Coming in at number 8, we have the rather bland Halloween 5. Halloween 4 showed that they could come back with something pretty decent, and Halloween 5 is really pretty much by the numbers. It's rather boring, but at least it's coherent, unlike the one that comes after it, Halloween 6. So Halloween 5, Donald Pleasance is awesome as always. Halloween 5.
You sense something? Tell me what you know.
I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Well, Jason knocked Michael out of 7th place with Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Don't get me started on how you get from landlocked Crystal Lake all the way to New York Harbor by boat. I don't get it, but that's okay. The film doesn't get it either. They just magically appear. And only in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, he doesn't really take Manhattan. He shows up in Manhattan, and by Manhattan I mean Canada. Only the scene with the people with the boombox. That's, I think, the only scene that's actually shot in New York City. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, New York has a new problem.
Well, coming in at number 6, and beating Deep Star 6, is Leviathan, which is pretty much the same story as Deep Star 6. There's a few differences here and there, but it's a monster on an underwater platform. You have an arguably better cast in Leviathan, and certainly more money was thrown at this. You have the ever reliable Peter Weller as your lead, and Ernie Hudson is always oh so likable. You should see him on Grace and Frankie. He's quite charming in his old age. Leviathan.
It was an experiment that tampered with nature's most basic laws. It went terribly wrong. It was buried 5 miles down. Now, a crew of undersea miners is about to stumble upon this terrifying secret.
Shack to 7. What's going on out there, Williams?
My God, are you picking this up?
Look at that. Leviathan.
Currently with a Russian fleet in the Baltic Sea.
Currently it's rusted junk and we're looking at it. What's your air reading?
20 minutes.
Do something quick.
We lost him.
My crew's in jeopardy.
But you have no proof.
I'm ordering you to start an emergency medical evacuation.
What if it turns out to be nothing?
Help me.
It's already killed one man.
My rebreather stopped. I'm losing compression. I can't breathe.
Whatever got Six-Pack and Bowman, it's still here.
I feel something. Somebody's alive in here.
What's going on?
Six-Pack. Six-Pack, answer.
Don't go in there. Don't touch anything.
What are you trying to tell us, Doc?
It absorbs the intelligence of its victims.
Thank goodness you're still alive.
When are you coming?
I say we protect ourselves.
Leviathan.
Well, speaking of ideas that just go around and around and around, we have Wes Craven's Shocker. Unfortunately, there's also The Horror Show and Destroyer with Anthony Perkins. And there's one I'm blanking on right now. But there were four of these movies where you have an electrocuted criminal. Oh, of course, Lon Chaney Jr. had one a long time before this. You have an electrocuted criminal who doesn't stay dead. Wes Craven's Shocker.
We are here today to bear witness to the execution of Horace Pinker, whose unspeakable atrocities have horrified the people of this great state. He stands convicted of 52 counts of aggravated assault, 23 counts of armed robbery, and 37 counts of murder in the first degree. Prisoner, have any final words?
Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I don't think he's dead. Contact. He's among you.
Now, Wes Craven brings you his greatest creation.
No more!
Shocker.
Well, fourth place goes to a film that doesn't have a lot of originality, The Fly 2. David Cronenberg's The Fly was a classic remake, just like John Carpenter's remake of The Thing. It took the original material and made it better. The Fly 2, they have a great line in it. I'm not getting worse, I'm getting better. But The Fly 2, it's just okay. Fly 2.
Listen. Do you hear it? It's getting closer. Much closer. Don't be afraid. Be very, very afraid.
You could finish your father's work. You're as brilliant as he was.
Something odd is happening to me, and I don't know what it is.
I'm getting worse.
I'm getting better.
The Fly, 2. Like father, like son.
Coming in at number 3, The House That Craven Built, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, apparently this time Freddy's going to have a baby instead of number 2 where he's birthed from a person. Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Well, let's see. We have Jason, Michael, and Freddy on the list, but we haven't had anything from Stephen King. Coming in at number 2, Pet Sematary. See the original. Don't go see the remake. Not that the remake is bad. It has a better ending, but it's just meh. It's just meh. The original is best. The problem is that the leads aren't compelling. Jason Clarke is not very compelling in Pet Sematary, and neither is Dale Midkiff in the original. John Lithgow is a fantastic actor, but his Judd Crandall is not as good as Fred Gwynn's. Fred Gwynn's is actually much better. When you can tell it right when you hear the line, "Sometimes dead is better," Fred Gwynn delivers that line perfectly. So see the original, Pet Sematary.
At the edge of the woods, behind the Creed's new house, is the old animal graveyard, the place where devoted pets are laid to rest.
Daddy, is church all right?
What is this place? I brought you here to bury Alan's cat.
I dreamed he got hit by a car and you and Mr. Crandall buried him.
Why, Judd? I had my reasons. What did we do tonight, Judd?
What we did, Lois, was a secret. But some don't stay.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you.
You're thinking thoughts best not thought of, Lois.
Daddy's gonna do something really bad.
That's why no one ever buried a human being out there.
You're thinking of putting him up there. Don't deny the thought hadn't crossed your mind.
And why nothing ever rests in peace.
If it doesn't work, I'll just put him back to sleep. Come back to me, Gage. Come back to us.
Paramount Pictures presents Stephen King's all-time best-selling tale of horror.
Gage?
First I play with Judd. Mommy came and I play with Mommy. We had an awful good time.
What did you do?
What did you do?
Pet Sematary.
Now I want to play with you.
Well, the top horror film for the year. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. And it's actually Ghostbusters 2, which reunites the whole cast, but it doesn't have the same magic as the first one does. It's just okay.
No fair.
It's really nice to see Ernie Hutchinson actually get 2 spots on the list this year. But other than that, the film is just okay. Now, I picked this up for, I want to say $6.99 at Hamilton Books. Not the $16.99, but $6.99 at Hamilton Books, or HamiltonBooks.com, where you purchase Ghostbusters 2 on DVD. It comes in a plain sleeve. And you get Slimer with it for free. Or as I like to think of it, I paid $6.99 for Slimer, and I got this coaster for free. Ghostbusters 2.
No fair.
Click like, subscribe, or even comment below, because I want to hear what you think.